Oh, hello everyone. Hello friends. Yes, I'm here. I hope you missed me. Today we are going to do a wrap up of all of the books that I read in February. And if you're like, Kelly, it's almost the end of March. Shh, shh. Mind your business. I'm just excited to make this video and I don't care how late it is. I wanted to get it out because I read so many good books in February. I read an arc of a book that's coming out in April that was amazing that I can't wait to talk about. I read really popular books that have been on my TBR for a while, some books by favorite authors. So looking at it, I read 11 books in February and we are just going to go through all of them right now because like I said, there's very good stuff in here. It's the first book I listened to on audio and that was Dream Girl Drama by Tessa Bailey. I loved this book. I give it 4 stars. In this whole like sports romance series that she has, the first one is The Golfer, second 2 books are hockey players, new book coming out is Baseball Player, which I'm so mega excited for. This one I'd say is maybe my second favorite. I still think Fangirl Down is my favorite in the series, but this was just so fun that I couldn't, not be obsessed with it. Also, it's Tessa Bailey writing a new trope for her, which is like step siblings. So it's probably her most taboo-ish storyline, that she's done. I don't really consider this to be like mega taboo, but if you're just dipping your toes into like forbidden romance, something a little bit taboo, these people instantly meet at a country club, become obsessed, then find out their parents are getting engaged. It's really sweet. It's very fun. I feel like Tessa, I don't want to say with every release she's just getting more and more unhinged and a little bit more over the top, but I really think she's having a lot of fun with her writing. I'm a longtime fan of her books. If she writes it, I will read it. I'm obsessed. I gave this 4 stars. Audiobook was super charming and delightful. I think one of the first times in especially Tessa's like Avon book releases where you get a male and female narrator on it. And I thought that was amazing. And it was just really fun. So 4 stars, delightful. Tessa could do no wrong for me. And then for a book that I guess I can't tell you too much about because I don't want to spoil it, but I did read my arc of Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. I was so excited to get this. Like a tear came out of my eye. I love this series so much. Last book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. This is Dusty and Cam's story. It is known that it's a second chance. They were, they were in a relationship when they were teenagers, and so then you get her leaving. This is all implied at the end of book 3, her wedding that she doesn't go through with, and to another man, so then she can go back to Dusty. They end up becoming neighbors, and let's just say I love this book. I flew through it in like 2-3 days. It was amazing. Again, truly, 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 truly obsessed. I give it 5 stars. I love this series. They're such comfort books. I can't wait to re-listen to this on audio. Again, I don't want to tell you too much except that I loved it. If you love all the other books in the series, I know you will love this. I do think, like, dare I say Dusty and all of his tattoos and him being blonde and his little nose ring, like, dare I say, my favorite man out of all of them, which is crazy because I know we have a single dad in there, but just something about this book and Dusty and Cam and the way they just love each other. I loved their love so much. It's so fun. It's so effing good. Like, it really is. Again, everyone's going to freak out when they read this because I loved it. Then I listened to the audiobook for Lights Out by Navessa. And I will say, I don't know if I have a somewhat unpopular opinion on this book, and that is that I thought this was fine. And actually, specifically the audiobook. Everyone in the world is like, this is the best audiobook ever, blah, 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 blah. Listen, there are good performances on the audiobook. Sure. Did I think the audiobook was anything super spectacular? No, because maybe the story... The thing is, I am really excited for book 2 that this book sets up, which follows different characters. That book seems to maybe go in a more like mafia-ish direction. And I think it's about a girl who works at a club and then the guy comes in and becomes obsessed with her, which is all right up my alley. Like, that couldn't be any more up my alley. And I saw the vision. I saw the potential with this book, but this book has to do with a girl who's obsessed with this guy online who is, just makes like thirst trap videos of him in a mask. That's just not my thing. If it's your thing, I find that's amazing. I love that for you, but maybe that I couldn't get into. He ends up stalking her, that guy who she's obsessed with, because he happens to be best friends, like roommates with her ex-boyfriend, so he knows her from that. And it's just like a whole thing. But it was fun. It was cute. It went on a smidge long also for my taste. Like it kind of had me in the beginning. Then again, it went on a little bit too long. Overall, again, I still definitely had fun, and I will be reading more from this author. Now, I will say if I read the second book, Caught Up, and that also lands at a 3-star, I don't know if I would continue to read from this author. But again, I saw the vision with this book, just the overall setup. It wasn't completely for me, but I liked it. And I understand why this book is so popular. It's just not an all-time fave for me. Then for a book that's been in my TBR for so long, I was so happy that Hoopla had the audiobook. We have Smoke and Gun by Lainey Lawson. I gave this book 4 stars. I thought this book was delightful. This book was so fun. It is a brother's best friend. Forced proximity. The main girl wants to be a doctor. Like she graduated from school. She has her degree and everything. She really wants to take care of her family. But for the summer, they're like, come back and stay on the ranch. So where her brother works. So she's staying there. Her best friend's there. And then this is like the hot guy who also works on the ranch. And there was also a little bit of fun suspense in there at the end. This is a super quick read, which I love as well. And I just thought it was super solid. If you want a quick cowboy romance, definitely strong yeehaw vibes, which I loved. You'll see I was in a little bit of a yeehaw vibe after Wild and Wrangled. I think this is a great one. I love the cover. There's a sequel that's out now. I don't know when the audiobook for that is coming out, but I think you can also get these books on Kindle Unlimited. I saw the vision here with Lainey, and for this being, I'm so positive, her debut novel, I thought it was super well done. I loved it. Thumbs up for me, again, especially if you want an underrated cowboy romance. But really, when it comes to cowboy romance, a mega underrated one, I finally got to Last Chance Cowboy because, again, I found this audiobook on Hoopla and the skies opened. The sun came out because if you know, you know, this book has been on my TBR for so long because I loved Saddle Up Cowboy by Sade Renee so much. This is the sequel that follows other characters but takes place in the same world. This is a 3-book series for now. I believe she's writing more. But anyways, I finally got to this one. This is another second chance romance. It's sexy, it's romantic, it's very angsty. It has, again, a lot of just like, you know, moments and characters who are a little bit messy trying to figure out what they really want. But I really liked it. The main girl, again, she ends up working on the ranch where her ex is, and it was just so good. And again, these books are so yeehaw. Like, truly, these people are cowboys. They work like with horses. They do all of this like rancher stuff. Like, it's just so like nice and refreshing to read a cowboy romance where like we actually cowboy. Like the job is cowboy, okay? This Ken's job is to cowboy. And I really appreciate that. I think if you just want an emotional cowboy romance with, again, a lot of heart, there is also a storyline that goes on with the main main female character with her family, and she does have a sick relative, so trigger warning for that. And I think that they're very extremely like underrated books. Like, I'm going to tell you, listen to the audiobooks, at least listen to Saddle Up Cowboy. But again, I will be reading every book in the series, and I love Sade so much. Quickly, I did get an ALC for Asking for Trouble by Gianna Darling because this book finally came out on audio. I already love this book. 5 stars. Literally one of my top favorite reads of last year. So do I have to say a lot about it? No. The audiobook was great. I love this book so much. All-time favorite series. You know this was a 5-star. This is one of my favorite books in the series. Audiobook confirmed that. I love Boner and Blue. This is just a motorcycle club romance. It's iconic. You need to check it out. If you're new to my page, then you're probably like, why is she quickly going through this book? But like, if you're not new to my page, like, you know, okay? If you know, you know. 5 stars, loved it. Another ALC I got was for Shattered Innocence by Sarah Kate. I kind of don't want to say too much about this book because I was very pleasantly surprised going into it. Maybe the synopsis gives more away, but let's just say this is a Cinderella retelling of a girl, and she does get sold at this auction. This is part of it's called the Black Rose Auction series. So a whole bunch of authors contributed like a spicy novella. And I think they're all, you know, inspired by like fairy tales or something like that, which is one of my personal favorite things to read are spicy fairy tales. Like I know Savor Miller has one in the series. I think Sierra Simone, I think Katie Robert. But either way, this was Sarah's and I loved it. Let's just say it was super hot. It was mega, 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 mega hot. Yeah, age gap, obviously. There's definitely a lot of forbidden elements to this. And like I said, I don't want to spoil too much because I was listening to it and I was like, oh, it goes here. If you just want a spicy, spicy good time, trust and believe that this one won't let you down. I give it 4 stars. I loved it. Next up, I listened to the audiobook for, is this Under the Endless Moon? Under an Endless Moon by A.L. Jackson. I really like this small town motorcycle club romantic suspense series that she has. This is the second book. I will say though, I gave this book 3.5 stars because this book was going so well for me. It's another brother's best friend. He's like obsessed with her. Very protective of her. She ends up staying with him, forced proximity, because she doesn't want to stay with the brother and his girlfriend anymore. You see them in book 1. This was great. Again, I really like the suspense too. Like, she has someone coming after her. It was just too long. Like, by the end there, I was like, we have to wrap it up. Like, something about this needs to be cut because it's just truly dragging. But overall, like, I love this series. I think the spice is so good. I think the story in the small town is really interesting. I love a motorcycle club romance, as you can see. This one just wasn't my ultimate favorite. Again, I'm still going to 100% recommend this series, especially the audiobooks. This one, again, just went on a smidge too long, but overall, I really enjoyed it. Like, thank you, A.L. Jackson, for the ARC copy and the beautiful PR box. Very, very well done audiobooks. Again, super, super hot, protective men. And yeah, I enjoyed this. Just went on a little bit too long. And for a perfect 5-star book, amazing audiobook, Where Are the Flaws? We have First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. Oh, yes. This is easily my new favorite B.K. Borison book. I'm looking to see, this is my signed copy because I did go to her book tour that she had an event in Jersey with Tessa Bailey. So I got to see both of them. I thought this book was great. This is a loose, you know, inspired by Sleepless in Seattle. The next book in the series is going to be inspired by When Harry Met Sally, which I'm a When Harry Met Sally girl. I feel like you're either Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally, You Got Mail, the Meg Ryan universe, cinematic universe. I'm a When Harry Met Sally girl. But this one was amazing. It's about a guy who works at a radio show, and the single mom, her daughter, calls in and is like, hey, can you help my mom? And she's like, what are you doing? And they end up on the call and it goes viral. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll help you find a man. Obviously, the perfect man for her is him. Aiden and Lucy were just so perfect. This one was just delightful. I loved it. I saw no flaws. I thought it was just chef's kiss. I finally then got to my first Samantha Young book, Scottish Queen. I listened to the ALC of On Love Rose Lane. This book is actually a spin-off series to her On Dublin Street series. I did not read that series, obviously, and I was still fine with this book. This book was really cute. I gave this 4 stars. Very spicy. I loved that the girl worked in like marketing and kind of like fashion a little bit, but you know, she like had that background and they're neighbors. They do know each other a little bit from the past. It's not like a second chance romance. They just like know each other. I think because it's because their parents know each other, I think. I'm not fully aware of the lore. But this audiobook had amazing accents because, again, they're Scottish. I loved that they were neighbors. Turns into fake dating. The spice in here is amazing. I just thought this book overall was really well done. Again, I gave it 4 stars because same thing with the A.L. Jackson book. At points, I was like, okay, it's kind of going on a little bit too long. Especially in the end there, I was like, we can wrap it up. But I would definitely check out the sequel that this book is going to have. I can't wait to read other books by Samantha. I know she has like her whole like Highland Falls, whatever, romantic suspense series, which I've heard nothing but great things about. This was really good. Super, super solid. I'm so happy I decided to get the ALC for this. And I had a great time. And finally, we have Come Back by Rebecca Jenshak. I listened to this audiobook, got sent this gorgeous copy in PR. I love this series with my entire heart and soul. Every book is a win. This book I gave 4 stars, I think. It wasn't my favorite. Like, Burnout is always going to, I think, be my top favorite book in this Holland Brothers series. But this book was so amazing. So this book is between Archer and Sabrina. And Archer, you've seen in the previous books. He is the football player who is hearing impaired. So there is a lot of beautiful ASL rep in this book, and you just also see his struggles of like being on the football team, feeling like maybe they give him special attention because of his disability, and him finding a partner who understands him. And then Sabrina is a dancer and she's trying to open up a dance studio, which, listen, when anytime the girl's a dancer, I can't lie, it's one of my favorite micro tropes. When she's a ballerina, any kind of dancing, I love that. And they are both so supportive of each other and their dreams. Like, especially Archer is so down to help Sabrina. They get off on a little bit of the wrong foot. Like, they kind of are slightly little enemies, then turned into a beautiful relationship. They do become like roommates, which, I mean, forced proximity always too. So a lot of my favorite tropes in here. I thought this book was beautiful. So, so well done. I feel like out of all of the books in the series, this one is the most like romantic and sweet and swoony. I gave the audiobook, again, 4 stars. I think Burnout will always be my favorite in the series, but overall, this book is amazing. I love this series so, 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 so much. Love them all on audio. Thank you again, Rebecca and team, for this copy. It's just so beautiful. I'm so obsessed. So that was it. That was everything. All of the books that I read in February. Again, I know this video is a little bit late, so sorry. Aside from that, all of my social medias are linked down below. Please make sure to follow my Instagram, my Goodreads, my TikTok. All in the moment book things are down there. What books did you love in February? What are you currently reading in March? Let me know. I would love to know. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. It means so much to me, like, truly. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all so much. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.